Good morning all. Today we will be discussing the second module, runoff. What is runoff? The portion of precipitation which appears in the surface stream is called runoff. The stream may be either perennial or intermittent in nature. What do you mean by perennial river? Perennial means it contains water throughout the year, and intermittent means it contains water only for a part of the year, that is called intermittent river. Then next we will be discussing what is a drainage basin. The basin, drainage basin or watershed are all the terms used to describe the area contributing the runoff. Here this dotted line represents the boundary of this basin or watershed. All runoff within a basin drain to a single point, and that is called outlet of basin. Next it is component of runoff. According to the source from which the flow is derived, the total runoff is visualized to consist of surface runoff, subsurface runoff and groundwater runoff. The runoff is classified as direct runoff and base flow. The direct runoff consisting of surface runoff and subsurface runoff, while the groundwater flow that enters a stream is called base flow. First, the surface runoff. It is defined as the part of total runoff which travels over the ground surface. Which travels over the ground surface to reach a stream channel and then through the channel to reach the basin outlet. It is called surface runoff. Coming to next one, interflow, or we can call the subsurface runoff. Interflow or subsurface runoff, water which infiltrates the soil and then moves laterally through the upper soil horizon towards the stream channel above the main groundwater table is known as interflow. That is, here this line represents the groundwater table. Before reaching the groundwater table, the water which percolates the top soil is finally reaches to the stream. That flow it is called subsurface flow or interflow. Then coming to the groundwater runoff, the infiltrated water which percolates deeply becomes the groundwater, and when groundwater table rises and intersects the stream channels of the basin, it discharges into a stream as the groundwater runoff. That is, this represents the groundwater level, and the percolated water finally reaches to the groundwater level. The groundwater level increases, then the groundwater finally reaches to the stream. That runoff it is called groundwater runoff. Next, coming to the factors affecting runoff. The runoff from a drainage basin or catchment area of natural stream depends on several factors such as characteristics of precipitation, characteristics of drainage basin, meteorological characteristics, storage characteristics. First, coming to the characteristics of precipitation, the first one it is type of precipitation. That is, type of precipitation means the precipitation may be either in the form of rainfall or snow. If the precipitation occurs as rain, it will immediately produce runoff. Then if it is snow, the runoff occurs only after the snow melts. Then coming to the intensity of precipitation, runoff increases with increase in intensity of rainfall. That is, if the rainfall intensity is high, the runoff will be high. As the intensity of rainfall is in a short duration, result in less evaporation and infiltration loss. Then if you consider a mild rainfall extending over a long duration, then the evaporation loss and infiltration loss will be high. So it will result to produce a less runoff. Then coming to next one, that is extent of precipitation. Greater aerial extent of rainfall over the drainage basin produce greater runoff. Next, coming to the duration of precipitation, that is, if the duration of precipitation is high, that produce a greater runoff. Next is characteristics of drainage basin. First one, it is size of drainage basin. Larger the drainage basin, greater will be the runoff. but it is always not true. Consider a larger area, the rainfall may not be uniform over the entire area, and also the storage capacity will be high in the case of a larger area. Say number of depressions and number of ponds may be more in the case of a larger area, so it will store more amount of rainfall, so the runoff will be reduced. On the other hand, as the smaller drainage basin with intense rainfall uniform spread over the entire area produces a larger or greater runoff. Next is a shape of the drainage basin. Drainage basin can either be a fan shaped or a fan shaped. A fan shaped drainage basin causes a greater runoff as compared to the fan shaped drainage basin, because in a fan shaped drainage basin all the tributaries of a stream are of comparable length, that is approximately equal, and the runoff from each tributary reaches almost simultaneously. However, with a fan shaped drainage basin, reverse in the case. Next, coming to the surface of drainage basin, a bare surface gives more runoff as compared to a surface having high vegetation. Similarly, a paved surface also produces greater runoff, as in the case of a paved surface the infiltration rate will be less, so it can give more runoff. Then another one, it is orientation. Consider the drainage basin is oriented at the windward side of a mountain. We know at the windward side it will be having more rainfall, so it can produce more runoff. Then if you consider the leeward side of the mountain, then the rainfall rate will be less in the leeward side, so the runoff will be less. Then coming to the altitude, drainage basin located at high altitude receive more precipitation, and hence the runoff rate will be high. Next is topography of drainage basin. A steeply sloping drainage basin produces greater runoff because a steep slope helps quicker drainage, and there being virtually no depression storage and less opportunity for evaporation and infiltration loss is provided. On the contrary, the drainage basin with a mild slope or with undulating land will yield less runoff. Then coming to the geology of drainage basin, a drainage basin with a pervious soil will yield less runoff, since there will be a more infiltration loss, as then if it is a hard strata, the infiltration loss will be less, so it produces more runoff. Next one, it is meteorological characteristics. First one, it is temperature and wind velocity. Higher the temperature and higher wind velocity causes more losses due to evaporation and transpiration, and hence it reduces the runoff. Next, it is humidity. Greater humidity decreases the evaporation and transpiration losses, resulting in greater runoff. Next, it is pressure variation. The variation of pressure in the atmosphere helps the movement of storms, causing the precipitation. So the precipitation is high, the runoff will be more. Then next one, it is storage characteristics. If the drainage basin has a large number of natural depressions, pools, lakes, etc., which will store a part of precipitation, so the runoff will be less.